everybody, and welcome back to Planescape Torment. I am your humble host, Tim. In the previous session, we finally made our way into Ravels Maze after solving all of the annoying bits and pieces we had to do to get there, finding the blood of... Ooh, what's going on here? Yikes. Trigget. Alright. Well, Trigget.
What's up? Sure, why not?
No, wrong place.
Affirmative.
Get away. You guys attack everyone else.
Alright.
Get them.
Maximally efficient strike.
Good work, everybody. So, after finding our way into the maze and the other bits, what is attacking me?
Alright. Done.
Whoa, what the hell?
Yes, my master.
Maximally efficient strike. Maximally efficient strike. Error. Error. Maximally efficient strike.
Okay.
I'm gone.
So yeah, we're in Ravels Maze. We're killing things, trying to find Ravel. The witch that knows about my... Ah! Where the hell do you think you're going?
Error. Error.
Maybe we should set... Hang on. No, wrong person.
Hi?
Check traps for me. And keep on detecting traps,
Done.
please. What the hell is hitting us down here?
Plenty to burn here.
Ha 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 ha! Found her! The plump hook-nosed crone before you doesn't look like much of a myth. She's outfitted in a simple, if dirty, brown shirt and leggings, with a number of pouches hanging from her frayed belt. She seems oblivious to your presence, more concerned with the tangled black roots woven together to form the floor of the maze than anything transpiring around her. I will study her movements. A tangle of jagged grey hair juts from beneath the crone's hood, spreading down her shoulders like a mass of twisted grey roots. Sickly blue-grey flesh hangs in loose folds from her face. Her narrow chin, long and sharp, juts forward into an extreme underbite. The two filthy canines protrude from her lower jaw like small tusks. Ravel?
Visitors.
The crone's voice is scratchy, as if trying to force its way past layers of dust. Her eyes are dull, bloody red, with black veins running through them like tree branches. She gazes at you. A strange crawling sensation passes through you like snakes burrowing beneath your skin. Ah. Welcome, Wolverine. This is Planescape Torment. Greetings, Ravel.
Well, now, my pretty thing. Have you returned at last? You were gone so long. I feared you forgot poor, lonely Ravel.
Well, it's Ravel, not Ravel. Ravel's face splits into a grotesque smile, displaying a row of chipped yellow fangs. I did forget for a time. Now I have returned. Have you? But what has returned? She squints at you with her black-veined eyes and hisses softly. Let Ravels see how fared in this life. She reaches out as if to caress you, and suddenly notices her fingers are talons, each fingernail filthy and wickedly sharp. I shall let her touch me. Her ragged talons trace their way across your skin, and in their wake you feel the same strange tingling sensation you felt when Ravel first looked at you. Her eyes dim somewhat, and her talons slide gently along the contours of your face, lingering on your scars. I shall wait. Ravel's finger withdraws, and she looks at you sadly. Oh, sad, sad, broken half thing, all a pieces. And she squints at you again. No longer the one Ravel knew, are you? You are still broken after all this sad, sad time. Broken? What do you mean? A body you possess, but a body of knowledge you do not. And she points her ragged talon at your chest, at your scars. Many and such scars you have, all scrawled on your skin. Many tales does your skin tell. What are you talking about? Your scars and tattoos shout to me. There is a man in confrontation with the world. Ravel makes a crooning noise, not unlike a dying bird. Yes, such tales as would shrivel even a hag's ears. Well, tell me these tales, I would know them. The tales are many, they echo of balance, imbalance, trails of war, battles with fiendish elements, and a creature that feeds on others from afar to sustain itself, and of torments, such torments, flesh has never known. Trials of war? Great, great trials of war. Much too much to be borne of by any mortal thing. Forgive my words here. What war? Where? This war touches all, my precious half-man. There is no place where its caresses not felt. Did it touch you? Ravel's voice drops, almost bitter. To this, Ravel says, aye. Well, that would explain the scars. What are these other tales my skin tells? The tales are many. They echo of balance, imbalance, trials of war, battles with fiendish elements, and a creature that feeds on others from afar to sustain itself, and of torments, such torments, a flesh is never... Yes, we've already done that part. Balance, imbalance. Divided in two you were, when your mortality was peeled from you, no longer balanced, much broken in the separation, both a blessing and a mistake, but more mistake than blessing, Ravel thinks. You took my mortality? How? Forgetting the how of it I have. Have I? She gazes, dims for a moment, the black vein swimming in her eyes. And even if I remembered it, I would never do it twice. Not forgetting the moment, have I, after the break, seeing the pain stream from your veins, your cries like a wailing child, every bit of your being filled with emptiness, terrible even to these eyes. So that's why I feel hollow inside, because my mortality is gone. Very well. What are these other tales my skin tell? Battle with fiendish elements? Two fiends butt heads, their tiny heads filled with ideas of how the planes should be, yet can never be, or the planes they would be no longer. Such foolishness. I'm not certain I understand. What are these other tales? 1 second. Guys, I'm recording here. Keep it down. No shouting. A creature that feeds on others from afar. No base hungers do you feel, but far, far more terrible. Ones boiled beneath your skin, and such a cost. What do you mean? I know not the nature nor the cause of these hungers, but heed this, coming events cast their shadows before them. My precious half-man, there is no assaying of what these events will be, not even with Ravels' eyes. Very well. What are these other tales my skin tells? I've already done that bit. And these torments, what are these torments you speak of?
Updated my journal.
A lodestone pulls iron to it, and so do you, my precious half-man. But it is not iron, but tormented souls. As others suffer, they are drawn to you, and your path becomes theirs. And she makes a sweeping gesture. Do you not see them in the eyes of those you have travelled here with? My companions, what do you mean? You do wish to explain... do you wish to explain, Gith? Ravel throws a burning glance at Dakon, tempered with a fanged smile. Vows may prove tighter than any chain, no? The manacles of a race once enslaved, now a slave again? Dakon is silent, and his blade shifts at Ravel's words, and the blade darkens, the edge sharpened until the crutch itself seems to carry a horrible malevolence about it. What's your words, Ravel? In the cog box. Once it you only suffering, definition, but now it feels its sting. There is no room for two in a world of ones and zeros, no place, mayhap, in a house of trues and falses, and no green with envy in a black and white world. When it discovers how the planes turn, when it discovers the truth behind loyalty and illogic, more torments will it know. My companions alone. Now leave my companions alone. I have... Crackling sorcerer, Ignis, an ember of Ravel's once passion he carries, for he carries not what he does, but mayhap down inside in the lightest places he is tormented by what he once was a foe. The passion came upon him. Do my words burn true, O smouldering corpse? And what other torments do these eyes see, Ravel? The chattering skull. Ravel does not bother to even look at Mort, as if he is beneath her voice. The quips enough to shield what lies buried inside your brain box, Why speak truth when lies survive? Mort, what do you mean, Ravel? And as if she is... Oh, sorry. And she gestures to Anna, as if she is for sale in an auction block. Look upon this feisty tiefling, such fiery hair and voice. Ravel smiles, baring her rows of yellowed teeth. Shall I speak of your torment, tiefling? Anna seems paralyzed, her eyes wide as Ravel turns her black-veined gaze upon her. You see her trembling, her heart beating fast. No, I shall not speak of it. Ravel's voice drops almost in exhaustion, and the smile fades from her face. Grown tired of cruelties and torments, Ravel has. The world is a jagged enough place. She turns to you, and her bloody eyes dimmed as she sighs. And my precious half-man, for you the greatest torment of all, life forevermore. Can it be a life careless for you as Ravel does? Or cares for you as Ravel does? And she gnashes her yellowed trunks with a horrid clacking sound. One so brave, so passionate, so terribly lost, sad. Why did you make me immortal? I must... A puzzle of bone and skin, were you, always intriguing, and the most beloved of all who came to me, petitioning, requesting, pleading for help. Ravel stares hard at you, her black-veined ember eyes narrowing. So hard to see past the scars, to dig up a man once underneath. Can you tell me anything about who I once was? A shadow with substance, a seeking that which cast the light. I know you more, and no. Ravel pauses, her eyes dimming. No more than I know my nature of any man. Cross paths have we, a man tainted with undeath, still feeling the pangs of separation, and an old withered crone, now all in prison. crossed paths.
Seems it that we are meeting for the first time. No, not.
Ravels seems confused for a moment and then shudders as if throwing off a weight.
Not at all. An echo of the future meeting this is, or a past meeting. Depends on which way time is facing.
So this meeting echoes a meeting of the past.
The now and then, very similar. So tangled now and then is, both mirrored at each other once and again. You come afore me with a problem to challenge me for a solution, but impossibly!
She hisses at you and her eyes blaze.
Beautiful, ungrateful, beloved man.
What was this impossibility I asked you to solve? Ravel does not seem to hear you. She seems to be in the past, for her eyes are dim as if looking far away.
Such fire in your eyes, enough to stir a grey lady's heart, passions to be free. But when freed, the fire of your of your eyes gutted out, with the separation of your life has shed all meaning, I fear.
And she smiles in her yellowed fangs and then clicks them together as if laughing.
Mayhap you should sit on your hind legs and limp your forepaws. Mayhap Ravel will give you another scrap of knowing.
I'm not beg for your aid, Ravel. No. If begging would bring me your answers, then I beg you, Ravel. Tell me what you know. I need your help in remembering what happened.
A gentled heart now.
Her black-veined eyes glint and the corner of her mouth twists upward like a stake.
Has life softened you? One can but hope.
I have many questions I wish to ask you.
Oh, more questions you have.
She croons softly, but there is an edge to it, as if she is reprimanding you.
But you have already asked so many questions.
Her black-veined eyes take on a curious gleam.
The time of my questions is now, half-man.
All right, ask your questions.
Know this and know Ravel's law. If you don't answer my questions, no more of your questions will I answer, my precious man. Step lightly with the answer, or the asking shall tear you apart.
Ask your question, Ravel.
I would know why you travelled here with these others. No, not the place that they were travelling to.
I would know why you travelled here with these others. No, not the place they were travelling to. Well, they chose to walk this path with me.
Chose? A dangerous word. Is it so?
Yes.
Yes.
She throws a black veiny glance at Dakin, her voice like an arrow.
Is choice, Gith? Is it? Or is it a matter of two skies?
Dakin's blade bleeds into a vicious dead black, mirroring his eyes. And to your surprise, the Karak edge slightly splits into jagged fangs. Ooh, chainsword. Ravel, leave him be. I will answer your questions, not them.
What of the cogbox? Does it know of choice?
And she snaps her fingers like the sound of cracking bone.
There is only obey and obey.
Oh, hang on.
Query. What does Nordum define choice? Define choice, the act of choosing, selection, the right or opportunity to...
Nordum, stop. This is between Ravel and I. Look, Ravel.
You think the burning man cares any for choice, to burn or not to burn? Those are his only choices, and in the end, one choice always wins. For does fire have any desire but to burn?
Ravel, you've made your points. Now enough of... It turns to Mort.
Skull, skull, skull.
Clicks her tongue after each other.
Skull, skull, skull.
And she smile widens.
Your expression is difficult to read without your skin wrapping, but I feel your fear from here. Coming here was not your choice.
Well, I didn't have anything better to do except go on one of the ladies' mazes and meet one of the evilest creatures ever to set foot in Sigil, so I said, sure, why... Mort, be quiet. Ravel.
Be quiet.
Oh, Mort, yeah, be quiet, he clicks his teeth. Like the hells I will. I think I've listened to this crone rattle her bone box enough. And now she's got some pair of stones saying I haven't got any skin. So what if I don't? Obviously, the fact that she has skin does wonders for her looks. Does she think I like being naked all the time? And another thing, Mort, cut it out.
And the tiefling, the fiery one.
Revel clacks softly, and her eyes kindle as if mused.
No choice at all. At all. When you feel instead of think, there is little room for choice.
Anna makes no response. Ravel's mere presence seems to have silenced her, and her tail has stopped flicking. However, her eyes have lost their hard edge. Enough with this, Ravel. What other questions did you have?
Shh. There'll be time enough for you to speak, my precious man.
She taps a talon against one of her yellowed tusks.
This question, Dex. What do you feel for those that have come with you? Do they matter to your heart?
She smiles, black veins dancing in their eyes.
Or are they tools of your will?
Well, 3 out of 5 I care about, so sure. They matter to me.
Even the gift?
Ravel Ember gaze falls on Deacon, then slides off to lock eyes again.
Speak what he means to you, and say it true, or blackening my garden he will be.
Well, he seems trustworthy enough. He's loyal, and he's fought by my side bravely.
Ah.
She nods and then smiles again, her talons tapping against each of her tusks. Does that surprise you?
And what of the skull?
And
surely he matters not to one such as you, or does he?
I like him. He's my friend.
Curiouser and curiouser. Curiouser. Quite the puzzle box you are shaping up to be. And what else lurks in the dark places of your mind?
I hide nothing.
Ah, here's a barbed question, not double-edged, but 100-edged, like each spike sharper than the last.
Revel thrusts one of her talons at Anna.
The feedling, the tiefling, with the scarlet hair and the fiery passion. What is she to you, my precious man?
I like her company, and I consider her my friend. She glances at Anna, then snorts, her black-veined eyes gleaming.
So be it.
Enough of these games, Ravel. Look.
My next question is this.
Her voice drops, almost whispering, and suddenly you have a strange feeling she does not want to hear the answer.
Why do you wait so long to return to me? Ravel grew lonely without you, precious man.
It's difficult, beautiful Ravel. Efforts were made to ensure you have little company, and many were the trials I was forced to undertake in order to stand before you, yet I'm glad to see you once more. That's the way to this place is difficult, Ravel.
Is the way so hard?
And a hint of a smile, praise in the corners of her mouth.
Then your visit is precious, and I give thanks.
Have you another question for me?
Ah, yes, the third and last of my questions, a simple one. Answer it, and your questions to me may fly 3.
And Ravel
shall cage them with answers. My final question to you is this.
Yes?
Ooh, looks like my skills have increased.
Leveled up?
What can change the nature of a man?
What can change the nature of a man?
What can change the nature of a man?
Anyone in chat have any ideas? Oh, there's more. Good lord. So the answer that I want isn't really here, because what I'm thinking would change the nature of man would be experience. I suppose technically not. Let's try this one here, actually. Nothing can change the nature of a man, Ravel.
And that is your answer?
The veins in Ravel's eyes begin to shift slightly, and she gives an evil smile.
Be certain before you say.
It may not be your answer, but it is my answer.
Then that is all I wished for, my precious man. A simple answer, and in the end, many are the men I have laid low who sought my answer.
That's it? I thought...
Countless times have the questions been asked, and not once did the pathetic shells who came before me answer with their answer, but answers sought to creep inside my mind and find what I thought. And there is the truth of that. There is no truth in that.
I don't believe you. In fact, I don't think they ever could have answered you true, even if it was true to them. She falls suddenly, strangely silent, as if watching you warily. You never cared about any answer other than mine, ever, did you? Yet, you still asked the question, knowing that no matter what the answer they gave, that they would die by your hands.
Updated my journal.
Of course, your answer was the only one I sought, for you were the only reason I asked the question. Do you think I cared for them? Did you think I even cared a fraction of the amount for them that I cared for you, my precious man? Answer me that.
I'm through answering your questions, Ravel. Now time to answer mine.
Of course. Ever questions, ever questions.
Why did you make me immortal, Ravel?
It's what you wanted, seedling, and you asked so sweetly. Now, how could Ravel say no to one such as you? Immortality was your solution to your challenge to me.
My solution? But why?
I don't know, seedling. Time has chipped away at my memories as well. It would seem... if you remember, tell me. I'm curious myself. It must have been something important. Isn't it in the nature of a man to want to live forever?
Only if the lies on the other path carries greater pain. Ravel, this is important. Do you have any idea why I asked you to do it?
Death was the thing you needed to dodge, an easy thing to say, mayhap. But to do it, not so. Immortality, even with its flaws, was the best solution this withered mind could untangle.
Yet...
lead is not easily changed into gold. Also, lead. Lead is not easily changed into gold. It is possible, though, and unwise. Unwise? Ravel, if water can be drawn from blood, mortality can be taken from a mortal, peeled back like sticky film.
So you pulled it off.
The gulf between man and unman is great. You travelled a distance, and I provided the means, but you crossed it on your own.
And she snaps her head and rakes her hand through her hair.
Bad, Ravel. Mortals are too flawed to be made to last. Still they break, and they must be dragged kicking and screaming into an unhealthy new mold.
Unhealthy? So the ritual's flawed?
Shortcuts were made, and they can break the molded. For it's not always the mold that breaks, but the substance poured within, forced somewhat into shape it was not meant to be, and it breaks. And I thought material was stronger stuff, but you've been broken.
But I am immortal. Surely it was a success.
You've survived long, immortal one. You've become the prey of the creature that is life.
She cups her hands and reverses it, forming the canopy with her hand.
The body is but a hut for the soul, but now no one dwells in your hut.
What went wrong with the ritual?
Puzzled flesh, broken, beautiful, beautiful mortal man. The ritual was not finished thing.
Brows wrinkle and her talons pick her hair, tug at a lone strand.
The ritual gave you what you wanted, but... The ritual gave you what you wanted, but great were the costs. The casting of shadows, the quiet, violent deaths of the mind, and the painstaking emptiness, and these things are dangerous. There is such a fragile vessel, no matter how strong a mortal man. Regrets them and the ritual, I do.
All right. Casting of shadows.
Ungrateful shades, but ungrateful without cause. The shades, they hate you, nameless one, for they were fathered by you, your children, once forsaken. They will never forgive. They will do anything they can to destroy the parent. Such is the way of the children.
So I'm guessing the shades might even be like my past souls trying to kill me, being jealous that I've been dying all this time and coming back. How do I further shades these shadows? Ooh. No. Damn it, I shouldn't have asked. Oh. Good, go away.
You cast shadows on existence, nameless one. With every death, a shadow arises, fresh from the fields of your flesh. They wander for a time, but always they return, looking to murder their parent. Such the way of many offspring.
Ravel purses her lips in disapproval and then suddenly pokes you in the chest with the talon.
And thankless young men such as yourself.
Tell me more about the ritual. A quiet, violent death of the mind.
1,000 deaths, and you recover from each. Not so the mind. The mind is much more fragile. Its scars run deep and do not heal. The brain is encased in a hard bone shell, difficult to breach, but with no defense against what which eats it from within.
Okay. And painstaking emptiness.
You have a hole where your mortality once lay within your shell.
And she makes a hand into a fist and shakes it.
Rattling goes the hollow man, a baby's plaything, with naught but a tiny stone that clanks in your frame.
But despite these problems, it seemed like the ritual works.
Updated my journal.
Do you doubt, Ravel? Of course, I delivered on what was promised. Not long after the spell drew to a close, I killed you to see if it had worked, and you struggled so, but I kept a tight grip, and watched you die, your first of many deaths, and she clacks her teeth. And then I learned its flaws.
What flaws?
Ego enwraps like a prison. Forgot I did that it oft-times serves as a shield. My pretty thing, there is much wisdom in understanding in the truth that life is a preparation for the ultimate goal, death. Our life is a means by which we learn how to die. But if we forget such things...
So that's when you discovered I lost my memories when I died.
Yes. Unfortunate. Without the mortality to hold such memories tight, the shell of the body is...
So you took my mortality from me. Is it still intact? Seems surprised and alarmed.
Oh, yes. Fear not, for a broken mortality, if you were here talking to me, intact your mortality must be. Such a thing cannot be destroyed as long as you exist. You are an anchor of your mortal soul. As long as you are intact, you shall be made to last. You are.
And she smiles and gives a wheezing laugh.
For life swallowed you and spat you out. It swallowed him, but I don't know if he came out of that end.
Enough of this. Look, Ravel, you took my mortality from me, and it's been causing me more harm than good. I would like it back. If you have it, you have had it you've had it for a long time. Just give it back, bitch.
Ah, you make a demand.
Ravel's black-veined eyes sharpen and twist into a disturbing awareness, and she bares her yellowed fangs.
No, not that, Ravel. No. What is undone cannot be done.
And why not?
Ravel cannot give such a thing to you, my precious man, for Ravel has nothing to give. I never possessed you, or your mortality, though I wish to keep them both in my garden as selfish affections and keepsakes. Trace the pattern of your flesh, but things that Ravel could not bring herself to do.
And why not?
You loved...
Anna.
You loved him.
And she breaks her silence.
You loved him, didn't you?
Ravel gives a low, wide smile.
It's so hard for you to believe, Fiendling,
And she cracks laugh.
Does Ravel, being Ravel, and thus a myth, not deserve to carry such feelings in her black-brimmed heart?
Then you don't have it, Ravel. And where is my mortality?
I don't know, sweet thing. But if I were you, I'd get back quick. No telling what horrible things someone could do to you if they held your mortality for ransom.
And she clicks her talons again.
It's would like beholding someone's sweet sucking soul, a puppet dancing on someone's string you would be, and most sad puppet too. Know where it is, I do not.
Well, this would have been easy for you to know where it could be found. It looks like I am off on another hunt.
Not so quick to rush off, you should be.
Ravel gives a horrid smile, her tusk gleaming.
I do not know where your mortality lies, my precious man, but I know there is another may carry the knowing.
Another may know? Who? Her eyes dim, and she is starting... as if she's staring at something in the distance, and her voice slurs.
A fair-skinned one, must you ask, an angel, a deva, one who soars with the wings of the morning, and with his hand is the architect of the horizon. He lies beyond my knowing, in another cage, in another prison, and his knowing is the knowing of what you wish to know. Ask him your question, answer to... listen to his answers. Use them as guides.
Where do I find this angel?
Updated my journal.
In leaving the prison to another cursed prison, you will arrive, though it may not appear as such to casual glances. Step lightly and find the golden link in the ever-shortening chain. The light shall give you a dark of the matter, and new path shall open to you.
All right. Delightfully cryptic, though not surprising. Thanks.
Of the past I am not held to particulars. You are fortunate to receive anything, O caustic one.
Perhaps so. In any event, I had other questions. No. Thank you for your information you've given me. I must leave now.
Hold!
Drops into a low hiss.
The most important question you have yet to ask, my precious man. Has it occurred to you?
No. What question are you speaking of?
Ravel, do you know how to leave this beautiful garden of yours, must you ask? Ask this, will you?
And she prompts you to one of her talents.
Go on.
All right, Ravel, how do I leave this beautiful garden of yours?
Know the branching of this place, the twisting and the bending, the burrowing, though there are no leaves here. One may take their leave when they wish it.
So you do know how to leave.
Wrap your hands about your branches and make them encircle your chest like a cage. Step from the edge of the maze into the darkness, and into another cage your body shall go. A simple leaving, but there is no return when the final step is taken. So take heed and take what you need before you take the step.
Which edge of the maze do I leave by?
Which? A question posed by a witch. Which? One of the edges knows, not eyes. The remembering of which has failed me, and the edges of the maze have had little to say on the matter.
You've known how to leave all this time, then why don't you leave?
Ah, why stay when one can leave, is your question to me. She breaks into a crooked smile. I turn the question upon its head and send it scurrying back to you. The answer lies not in the staying or leaving, but in the cause and reason, my precious half-man.
Do you want to leave?
It is a once, want, but not a now want, and more, a not a want. What do I need that lies beyond my brambled walls? It's a cruel, jagged world beyond the edge of the maze, and Ravel has pulled enough of its shards from her skin.
Well, thank you, Ravel. I must bid you farewell.
So you say.
Ravel's voice takes a strange whisper, very sad, sends echoes through your mind.
One final question do I have for you. Do you wish to leave me, my precious half-man?
Fair Ravel, you helped me when I came so long ago. And you have done so again. I shall not forget what you have done. Now I must... Yeah. Fair Ravel, you helped me when I came here so long ago, and you have done so again, and I shall not forget what you have done. But now I must leave. I have to know more about myself. There's a terrible shimmering in the air, and the sound of snapping twigs and crackling, and the horrid sound of bending and spittering. Whoa. Ravel's lips peel back, and her voice becomes as shrill like a howling wind.
What do you know of knowing, half-man? Know this, no. You will stay here until the end of days in my brambled garden, never to leave, and you shall love me as you meant to, as you promised.
I'm afraid I'd be poor company, Ravel. I cannot stay. In any event, I'm afraid I must be going. Allow me passage.
I shall not let you leave. I have the power to keep you here, and I shall use it. My black barb maze shall not allow you to travel beyond it while I live, my precious, precious man.
So the only way I can leave is when you're dead. Very well. Mayhap it is you that have made the mistake by underestimating me, Crow.
You have forgotten your place, half-man.
Ravel.
Humility is in order.
Ravel, do not do this.
Updated my journal. Stronger.
Ooh, everyone's leveling up.
Attend me, my precious soul.
Awaiting order. Affirmative.
The carry.
Nordum addressed.
Well, that certainly happened.
The flames await.
Await processing.
Ha ha! Got her. Unraveling. So now I gotta deal with the shadow versions of myself.
Aye, white as well.
Maximally efficient strike. Terminated.
Die.
Mike's not working on this thing.
All right.
Nordum damaged. Nordum addressed. Portal detected.
Space beneath the brambled arch seems to show a large desert city surrounded by great halls. It must be prison. Ravel mentioned. Fold your arms like a cage and leap through the portal. Awesome.
Off with you. Dead I am.
Then Death's kingdom has sealed its gates to us both. Arise, crone.
Shh. Away with you. I'm dead, and no traffic with the living may I have.
I care little for how you die, but I warn you for the last time. Arise, or I shall slay you where you lie.
I had thought that dying at his hand would fulfill the requirements the past put forth.
You cannot have thought that one would have a chance. You were indulgent to let him think he was successful.
Powerful this incarnation is. And kill me he could have, but for a few tricks I possess. Fortunate was I.
Fortune abandoned you the moment I found you. Has your life prepared you for what is to come, hag?
I am not afraid. Not of the likes of you, ragged thing. Weak Ravel may be, but a few tricks has Ravel learned over the years, and I have known you would come.
Transcendent one.
One eternity later.
No longer shall you trouble existence with your presence, witch.
Sweet. We are outside of the maze, and on that note, that's where I think I'm going to end it for today's session. So, thank you all very much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. I have been your humble host, Tim. Be sure to come back for the next session of Planescape Torment. Bye!
Did you get a drink?